So we've got 8 steps to the process that we recommend, and we've gone through this with ourselves internally. We've gone through it with a bunch of clients. If you're sitting there thinking about, okay, how do I deal with this data challenge? We want to give you something. This is the sort of playbook. This is the process. Here's how we would suggest going about it. Okay. So number 1, we're going to set a business goal. So what is it that we're trying to accomplish with data? Say for us, we're a business. We provide proactive technology, cybersecurity, and productivity powered by data and AI. So as a business, our entire business is powered by data. So we want all of our decision making across the business to be powered by data, and we want that data to be collected in an automated way. But by manual input for Excel, we want it automated. We want to be able to support our team to unleash the brilliance that they have. And we want to give them the data so that they're able to do that and do that effectively.
And part of that process is really, you've got to then determine the data that you're going to collect. Because as we demonstrated, there's tons of data coming in, everybody's bogged down. How do we focus in, put the blinders on, find the things that are key metrics to our organization, and then go ahead and look at and collect that data, right? Is dryer information on loads a key metric to your organization? If you're a laundromat, maybe. How much am I making on the dryer side versus on the washing side? But if you're a restaurant, is that necessary to collect? No. So really determining what that data is that you need to collect is going to start, because garbage in, garbage out, $3.1 trillion in USD. And we've got to go through that process of identifying and ensuring that the data we're collecting is going to be useful.
So you set the business goal, you determine which data you want to collect, what are your KPIs, what do you want to see, that sort of thing. And then you get into, okay, is it BI ready? Let's analyze the actual data, right? Is it structured or unstructured data? What data is there? What's the art of the possible, right? The example, the QuickBooks example we gave earlier. If you want your dashboard to include financial information and you're using QuickBooks Desktop, you're going to have to put in a connector, you're going to spend a bunch of extra money, and that versus if it's in QuickBooks Online, and you're using something like, if you're using Power BI, you just put the Power BI connector in, and then you got pre-populated reports and everything it pulls, right? So that analysis of what's possible, what's our data look like? Do we need to create a data repository, or can we just pull data in live? What are the capabilities in terms of the applications we're using? Are there APIs? Is it easy to access data? All that sort of stuff, that analysis is key.
Now, once you've got that, so you got your business goal, you've determined which data you want to collect, you're going to analyze that data, see if it's ready, or if it needs to be transformed. Then you've got to decide what platforms are going to be needed. Okay. Most people go buy the car first before they decide what the other stuff is that they want. What you want to do is, you've already know what your data is and what you want to collect. Now you've got to go find the platforms that do that as effectively as possible, so that you spend as little time and money preparing the application that's sucking that data out and pumping it into Power BI. You want to spend less time doing that. So you've got to decide on what you have. Is it what you have today that's going to do what you need tomorrow? Or do you need to go ahead and replace the whole thing and start with something different?
Yeah, or we've had the experience of, you take this big project and you say, I'm going to do this part of this project, right? And then you visualize your data. Once you've figured out what platforms you're using, if you need to change your platforms, maybe you're stopping there and changing the platforms, or maybe you're changing the data that you're going to go in your first round, and you visualize the data. Like, don't put it out in an Excel document. Give it visual, give it life. Show me trends. Show me the graph. Show me where things are going. Give me the ability to pull insights from it. So we visualize it. We say, hey, okay, Jermaine, we've got this shiny, wonderful report. What do we do next?
Well, now is where it gets to the fun part, because you want to be able to validate what's there, right? So we've seen a few of our clients has gone through this process where the input data manually didn't match the extracted data automatically, and then when you take a look at those two, there's disparity. So again, this is the importance of ensuring that you determine and analyze the right data, and you got to validate it. Go in and check it against the actuals. Is this matching up? Is this correct? Before you start depending on that data, you've got to validate and ensure that the data that you're seeing in that visualization is accurate. And you've got to do that on a repeating purpose.
And there's going to be some stuff that's going to be wrong. Just expect there's going to be some stuff. You gotta clean the data. You got to fix it. You got to figure out how the application is putting in the data, or how the people are putting in the data, or something along those lines. And then you do that, and then you clean that up, and you get to the point where you can have data-driven insights. So all of a sudden it becomes clearer. The world is clearer for me, right? I can see what's going on. I can chart the future. I can make way better data-driven decisions.
Yeah, informed decisions with what you're working with. And then, well, because we like circular things and we like to check and recheck stuff, you've got to have a continuous review and improvement process in place. And if you look at your business on an annual basis, or a rolling 12 months, or on a quarterly basis, or a 6-month cycle, whatever your business interpretation is of how that workflow works and how the generation comes about, you've got to put in place checks and balances around, let me review this. This is what we did over the last calendar or fiscal year. Here's how we landed. Let's review this to see if it's giving us what we need. Did we grow? Did we change? Was this usable? And then if it doesn't, or it does, you take what's good, turn that into the next year, and then replace and or update or test the new things. Because that way, you want to be able to remove what's not useful and put in more of what's useful. And then you go back, because I don't know about everyone on here, every year we set a business goal, and every year we determine what we need, how we're going to track it. Most of the clients that we work with in our nonprofits and in our construction environments, in the AEC zones, all of those people have a plan, they have a timeline on their projects, etc. And they set a business goal related to, well, here's how we're going to deliver on all the stuff that we're promising. And then every time they come back around to where that business goal needs to be reviewed again, you review your data, you review the process, and then is our new business goal what we need right now? And then we go through the process again. So that way you refine it and you make it better.
Yeah, and I think that continual process, first of all, data is a little bit addictive. Like once you get good data and it gets addictive, you want more, and you want to know more of what's going on. And the other thing that happens too is if you're in a client service or service delivery or type of business or organization, you have internal BI, and then you have BI, business intelligence on the folks that you're providing client service for.
Yeah.
So you can give people business intelligence on their organizations or on their program or on individuals or setups like that. If you do want to see what your roadmap would look like in your organization, if you're like, hey, I'm interested in solving this data problem, you can use the QR code on the screen, and we will do a Power BI readiness assessment for you. And what this assessment is we'll do the first 3 things in that process for you. So we'll talk to you about what your goal is. We'll go through what you've determined in terms of the data that you want to collect, right? Do you want information on the dryers, or do you want key metrics, right? So we'll determine what data, we'll work with you and get an understanding of what data you want to collect. And then we'll analyze your data and kind of give it a sense of the art of the possible, right? Is it BI ready? Do you have a setup that you're good to go, or do you have to make some changes or a few tweaks or stuff here and there? Let's do 1, 2, and 3. If you're interested in that, please just with the QR code, go to quick form, put your name, your online banking password, stuff like that. And oh wait, no, don't do that. And just put your name and your organization, your phone number, email, and then we will contact you.